What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And today is all about the Vivo X100 Ultra. Yes, we are merely days away from its release. And I have 5 reasons the X100 Ultra is a superior phone to the X100 Pro, and ultimately why you should very much consider buying. Let's go. Now, before I get into the 5 reasons, I just want to quickly tell you that I have ordered the titanium variant of the X100 Ultra. However, you may know that in the last video, I put out an opportunity, if you like, saying that if anybody was interested in buying the X100 Ultra and they were up for sending it direct to me first for content creation purposes, I would provide them with $150 off the price. Ultimately, $150 to use the phone for up to 7 days, and then I'll ship it to you. This was misinterpreted by a couple of people in the comments. I could easily go and buy the phone and then sell it on some places for a profit because people don't want to import from China. I never do that. I never sell for profit on this channel. On this instance, I wanted to say, look, I'm not going to keep this device. I've got too many phones as it is. There's way too many phones coming out of the summer. So I'd really just like to be able to rent the phone for a week for $150. In no way was that me begging for someone to buy it for me, because it's not for me. It's for you. It was merely an opportunity. So for those in the comments that thought, again, I was begging, that's utter nonsense. And I should also let you know that I'm going to continue to do that. For phones that I know I will not keep, why would I not offer a viewer the chance to get money off the device? So, going forward, for some devices, I will offer a cash payment for the rental of your device. Why would I hold on to 100 phones like Mr. Who's the Boss or MKBHD? It makes no sense to me. Why would I not share the savings with someone that watches my channel loyally? And on that note, as this channel progresses, you don't even have to be a member in the chat. If you want to sign up and join Buy Me a Coffee and be included in the WhatsApp group chat, the link is in description. But for any viewer, subscriber, commenter, whoever you are, as my channel grows, the money I offer up front to use the phone for a week, then send on, is only going to increase. The $150 represents about 15% savings on the X100 Ultra. If I can get that number over the next few months to a near 50% saving for you, I will 100% do it. So, with that being said, the X100 Ultra will be delivered to me by WONDA Mobile, link in description, and it'll come probably the first week of June. WONDA are saying that they're shipping out the 31st of May, so it should be here by the 3rd, 4th, or maybe 5th of June. So a few weeks to wait. However, it gives you a few weeks to consider if you want to buy. Well, here are 5 reasons you should definitely consider the X100 Ultra, particularly when it pertains to choosing between the Pro variant or the Ultra. Now, the first reason for me is something I explained in my X100 Pro review. I also described it in the X100 Ultra leaks, and it's the SoC. The chip, the platform, the brains of the operation. Now, I wanted to be clear on every single point here. The X100 Pro is still a fantastic device. I am just giving you the reasons why the Ultra is better. Just because it's better doesn't then make your Pro or a Pro that you're considering buying a bad phone. It's not. It's a fantastic device at a really good price on WONDA Mobile. So the first reason, the chipset. The Ultra has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with the Adreno 750 GPU, whereas the Vivo X100 Pro has the MediaTek Dimensity 9300. Not a bad chip, but nothing compared to the 8 Gen 3. In my experience, not just my opinion. I mentioned at the time that the Vivo X100 Pro got really good battery life, but not as good as the 8 Gen 2 phones that I had at the time. I also mentioned that performance, throttling, and heat dissipation seemed to be worse on the X100 Pro. There was just something at the time, because it was my first time using a MediaTek chip in a phone, I just noticed in certain things it was a bit slower to react, and certainly when it came to charging using the camera, it seemed to be hotter than the Snapdragon equivalent. So the fact that Vivo have moved to the Snapdragon chip from Qualcomm for their Ultra variant should also maybe give you a bit of information that they weren't particularly happy with the Dimensity chip, bearing in mind that there's now a 9300S available they could have used. Now the chip takes us nicely on to another internal factor, the battery. The battery on the X100 Pro was pretty outstanding. It was one of the first candy bar style phones, if not the first, outside of a gaming phone, to have a larger than 5,000 mAh battery. Coming at 5,400 mAh, that phone was a full day, if not sometimes close to 2-day phone, depending on your usage. I had no issues with the battery capacity in itself. However, with the Ultra variant, the capacity is slightly increased to 5,500 mAh, and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip will be more efficient with the battery. So the two factors of a bigger battery and a new chipset combined mean that the Ultra will definitely have a superior battery to the X100 Pro, but both batteries are absolutely fantastic. Now, before I get on to the two biggest reasons why, there's another reason that the Ultra is better than the Pro, and it's to do with biometrics. Mainly the fingerprint sensor. For the longest time, Samsung have been the only ones to use an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor in their flagship S23, S24, S22 Ultra. You get the picture. Well, Vivo have decided to go down that route. On the X100 Pro, it was an optical fingerprint sensor, but on the Ultra, they're going ultrasonic. And again, through my experience, you may have to take my word if you've not tried both, an ultrasonic sensor is far quicker, works every time, and more importantly, at night time, when you're lying in bed, the optical one just has to use light, so it gets super bright, and it's quite annoying sometimes. Ultrasonic, it's going to work in any light conditions. And now we get on to the two main reasons why I believe the X100 Ultra is worth that little bit extra cash, and it's certainly worth you considering as your next flagship phone. The display. The Oppo X7 Ultra has the sharpest resolution display at roughly 515 ppi. Well, the X100 Ultra now has a 517 ppi display. Now, while that's not a big difference between that and the S24 Ultra and the X7 Ultra, importantly for this video, it's a massive difference between that of the X100 Pro. For context, the X100 Pro is a full HD panel with a 452 pixels per inch density. That is nearly 17% less than the X100 Ultra with its full HD plus resolution display. Yes, 1440 by 3200 pixels, giving you that 517 ppi number. And while in most cases you are not going to notice the difference unless you had the phones side by side, I am in a unique position where I review phones daily. And I can tell you from my experience, the X7 Ultra display just tops everything else. It is just silky to look at, obviously smooth, 120 hertz, but it's just different. Colors, everything just pops differently on such a sharp display. So I'm excited to see the display on the X100 Ultra. And I'm sure you'll be aware by now, the biggest reason for me that I'm excited for the X100 Ultra compared to the Pro is the cameras. Specifically, that new 200 megapixel periscope zoom lens. Now, as you can see here on paper, the X100 Pro's 4.2 times optical is better than the Ultra's 3.7 times optical. But folks, megapixels on this occasion matter. 50 megapixel 4.2 optical gave me really, really good shots at 10, 20, even 30 times zoom. The 4.2 times optical worked out to be something close to 7 or 8 times lossless zoom. And on the record, I just want to reiterate, the X100 Pro has one of the best telephoto lenses of any device. And yes, I include the S24 Ultra and the X7 Ultra and the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. The X100 Pro might actually be better than all of those. If not, it's very close. So with the X100 Ultra, you're getting a 200 megapixel lens, but importantly, backed by Vivo and the Zeiss lenses and Vivo's post-processing, which altogether means, for me anyway, that I believe the zoom lens on the X100 Ultra will be far superior than the X100 Pro, which in turn makes it the best periscope zoom lens in the world on any smartphone. But I have to be honest, because you know me, I always will be. There has been a video released by one of the Chinese channels, as you can see here, showing the same zoom picture taken on the X100 Ultra and the X100 Pro. I should say the X100 Pro, you can clearly tell, is sharper, more legible. It's just a better picture. But there's a couple of things here. This was clearly done in not the perfect setting. It was also potentially not taking advantage of the 200 megapixel mode. I need to make sure, but I'm pretty sure like other phones, you're going to have a standard 12 megapixel, maybe a 50 megapixel mode, and you'll have the option to use 200 megapixels. And the final thing we have to remember, if anybody's bought a Vivo or heck any smartphone, within the first few weeks of release, you kind of get bombarded with updates, and most of those updates are to do with the battery efficiency and camera. So with the X100 Ultra, this is literally in stores. It's not out yet. This was just a retail model in a store to test, but wasn't for sale. So I believe that with the updates, the X100 Ultra will have a far superior zoom lens. But as you know, I've bought the device and I will be the one to test it and show you, give you my opinions and let you decide for yourself. So that was 5 reasons that you should be excited for the X100 Ultra and why I believe it's better than the X100 Pro. If you're interested in purchasing the device, again, you can go to WONDA Mobile. The link is in description. You can pick up the 0.5 terabyte version for, I believe, just under £1,000. And again, if you're looking to support me or the channel or to join the members chat on WhatsApp, which is now close to 60 members on there, you can buy me a coffee, link in description, or sign up to be a member, which gives you access to monthly giveaways, which again are getting bigger and bigger as this channel grows. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you're purchasing the X100 Ultra, let me know in the comments. And until next time,